Captain Kai. This is the lockdown, the first ever episode. And I'm quite stoked that our world champion longboarder, Steezy Sawyer, can be my first guest live from Jbay. Steezy, how are you doing, bro?
Hey, too lekker, bro. I'm kind of starting to go a little bit crazy the last 3 days. The waves have just been so good for logging. And bro, 3 weeks, no surf. Yo, it'll do you in, eh?
Now, we talk about the lockdown, obviously. I mean, it has been mental. Literally, we had one of the worst summers in the Eastern Cape because I also am based down the road in Cape St. Francis. Of course, as soon as lockdown started, it's just been pretty much endless swell. One of the best runs of swell I think the Eastern Cape's seen in probably a decade or so. And you live up
Absolutely.
of the points. So, I mean, you literally have to stare at it all day long. And right now, you're staring at it.
Yeah, it's better than TV. It's free TV, but it was good in the beginning. Obviously, watching it pumping, I was handling. But after 3 weeks, and it's still pumping, I'm starting to lose my marbles slightly. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't trade this great view for a brick wall.
Why don't you show the viewers just quickly what you're looking at right now while you do this podcast?
Yeah, we got one times ugly castle in front, but ignore that. Just behind that, we got the punt. It looks like there's quite a bit of east in this well today. But I actually spotted a shark out there about an hour ago. There's lots of fish. Checked some garrick clapping the mullet. And today's actually been the most lively I've seen the ocean in terms of sea life. And yeah, I posted on my story. You'll be able to check. Kind of did a sneak shot with the camera into the eyepiece of a binocular, and yeah, you can totally check it happening. It's pretty cool.
Wow, so it's not just the surfers, it's the fishermen going crazy today in Jbay as well. Now, obviously, like you said, you've been coping, you're with the family, you've been watching the waves. There was a bit of drama at the beginning of the whole lockdown, of course, because I said an American doctor decided to go surf it for the first day of lockdown. And then a couple of the local boys got caught and chucked in the chookie wagon as well. Other than that, I mean, it seems like the Jbay sort of local community have really been like sticking to lockdown and trying to just all be in it together.
Yeah, I guess none of us see ourselves above anyone else. Kind of in this together, we definitely are making a huge sacrifice by not surfing something that's in our backyard. I mean, it's just seems sensible to go for a surf, obviously, because we're in the sun, salt water. You got your distance. It being a selfish sport anyway, you're not going to be sharing too much. So, but yeah, I guess if surfers were to surf, we'd just give the green light to anybody to do their own little thing. The guys could cycle, run, swim, paraglide, do whatever. So we're all in this together, sacrificing something really small. We're not really dodging bullets. We just have to watch Netflix and kind of deal with each other in a house. And yeah, so it's not as bad as it could be. I mean, yeah, there's lots to catch up on. It's actually good. I've been enjoying it slightly, I must say. But with 2 more weeks to go, we'll see how the back half goes.
Now, we talk about the community coming together. Over the last few days, Dylan Lightfoot, yourself, a whole bunch of the pro surf community from Jeffreys Bay. Maddie McGillivray has been getting into it as well. I've seen on his IG. You guys have got a new project going called Feed Jbay. And obviously, with a lot of local surfers, especially younger surfers like, the Faulkners and the Hendrickses, all coming from Pelsy's Wrist and the local townships, it looks like there's really some momentum behind the campaign, and you guys have been raising some serious cash to go help feed people in the poorer areas of Jbay.
I can't believe how it just shot up overnight. So we started it night before last, and woke up in the morning and there was already like 40K in the GoFundMe account. Woke up this morning and there's like 120K in the GoFundMe account. And so yeah, we're going to be tracking where all the cash is going, we'll have photos of receipts. And we're actually busy planning right now. So we're going to try to do a weekly distribution with the food. So like weekly packages. And we're going to partner up with a restaurant in Jbay called Bay Pasta Co. They're becoming like a hub. So they've got a couple small independent people that are doing like their little charity thing. And that's going to be the main hub where we go and pack food and then go disperse it accordingly. So yeah, we're just trying to see which of the boys are going to be doing packing and who's going to be doing the dispersing of the food. I know Lightfoot wants to stay at home because his dad's got a little bit of a sinus infection at the moment. So I think he wants to kind of just keep that there, and which is a good idea. But I'm definitely itching to get out. So if I can walk around and go put some smiles on people's faces, I can definitely go do that. But so yeah, we'll see. We're not 100% sure who's doing what yet, but you guys will see the progress and the process of it all. If you just follow that page, yeah, we'll pretty much just be keeping everything up to date from that page.
Right, and I'll put the link down below for everyone to go and support that. Feed Jbay. So the pro surfers putting not just their money where their mouths are, but also helping out the local community. And like I said, a lot of surfers that you've grown up with and that Dole and them have grown up surfing come from those areas. So there is always that connection, you know. So please do check out that link. And then something else I want to chat to you about. Obviously, I mean, you are a world champion longboarder, and you were traveling earlier this year. You were in Australia, and it must be kind of surreal just to go from that, like, all over the planet, traveling to suddenly now you're locked, not just down in Jbay, you're locked in your home. And like, it's got to be a little bit of like a shock to the system.
Yeah, like I said, it was easy in the beginning because it was new, but now I believe it takes 2-3 weeks plus to form a habit. And we've been locked in our house for 3 weeks now. So habits are starting to form of laziness, waking up a bit later, not doing anything. Like, I guess you can still do your training or whatever. I mean, habits are being formed nonetheless, you know. So I'm starting to go a little bit crazy. Don't tell anyone, but man, I don't know. Who would have thought that we would be in a time like this right now? This is crazy.
Well, it is really surreal, you know. And I mean, I guess if we look at pro surfing from shortboard to longboard, WSL, I mean, I'm a commentator. My life has been affected. All of the local contests either cancelled or postponed. You know, you look at the judges, the officials, the people who work behind the scenes, the media, you know. So a lot of people, not just the surfers, affected by the whole shutdown of pro surfing. What do you think is going to be that future? What's going to happen with WSL's longboard and shortboard and big wave tours? You know, do you see it firing up this year again, or do you think maybe only next year?
I think the shortboard tour will be postponed till next year. I'm pretty sure they'll cancel the year. I mean, from a handful or two amount of events to, you know, cutting that in half to crown a world champ, that's going to be a bit unfair for previous world champs. And regarding with the longboarding, we've had one event in the past to crown a champ. When I won, it was one event. We've had one event so far this year. Joel Tudor won that. And I think, yeah, well, it's hard to say because I know that New York has got like the highest number of cases in America, and that's where one of the stops we're going to be. Jeez, this ocean's going crazy. I just see flippers and fish, everything. So yeah, I think they had New York on the maps. They had Trestles and Malibu on the maps for this year. So we could still do Trestles in Malibu or one or the other, or Cardiff Reef, I think. Which is Joel's wave. And yeah, for us, I think we could possibly squeeze another event in. Just depends how far this virus spreads, you know. If the guys can put a lid on it fairly quickly, I think we'll be traveling sooner than later. But yeah, I don't know. The shortboarding tour for me, I think I think it makes sense to save a bit of bucks for 2020, put it all into 21, and go big. You know, which is crazy for Italo to be current world champ for a year and a relaxed year. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Quinny as well. Justin Quintel won last year.
So now, I mean, obviously the competitive drive's still there. You want to get out there. You want to get another world title in longboarding.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. I'm not as reliant on it to lift my spirits as I was before. I definitely want to have more fun with life and around the things that surfing comes with, you know. So, yeah, 100%. I think I've got some of the ingredients to get another one. It's not going to be do or die for me, but yeah, I would love to get another one. And yeah, just without all the pressure, you know, there's a lot of pressure around trying to stay focused and making that the epitome of your year, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. So Steezy's still hungry. He still wants to go out there and do it once we can. And obviously none of us are gonna know. So Steezy, I went out on Facebook about 2 hours ago. So I didn't even give people that much time to, and I've got so many questions here from the fans, bro. So we're gonna go through a few. So first off, Justine Reed, ask him how his sister Danny Sawyer is. I miss my friend.
Classic. Danny's doing good. She's driving me crazy. No, I'm kidding. She's
all right.
She's the master chef in the family, so she's been feeding us insane.
Charles Tom comes with an interesting one. Will there ever be a boy born that can swim faster than a shark?
I think if Dylan Lightfoot had kids, possibly.
All right, Steve Nilo, is that your real snore? And for the internationals, the snore is a moustache.
That's classic. He's been asking me ever since this thing grew on my face. He's like, "Is that thing real?" Yes, 100% original.
Original. All right, Darren Ball, tips on longboarding the point. Right time to hang, cut back, and bang.
Go as fast as you can, and if something gets in your way, turn. And then always stay high for a nose ride, and don't go to the nose facing the beach. You'll either nose dive or get pulled out the back. Those are my top 3 tips.
All right. Carl Olivier, of course, is one of your good mates and surfs there.
Next door neighbor, pretty much.
And your neighbor, he says, recount your most memorable gigs. Obviously, you are a musician as well. Your most memorable gig?
My number one most memorable gig was probably Squaw Valley, Lake Tahoe. That was for my 21st birthday. I played at this Wanderlust festival, and there was about 8,500 people at the fest. So I had this one stage. It was the second main stage during the day. I had about a 45-minute gap, and thousands of people came in and out, and it was just insane. The best view I've ever had on stage, and geez, it was an absolute magical day. I could definitely write a little short story on that day.
Now, Mariska Myers, another Jbay log local, she says, can you give us your top 3 tips for hanging 10?
Top 3 tips for hanging 10. Geez, I don't know. It depends on the wave, because the wave obviously depicts whether you're gonna, and the section depicts whether you're gonna hang 10 or not, you know. But yeah, I would say the number one thing is lose your speed as soon as you're starting to gain speed again into a section. That's when you put all your weight on the nose and just rely on that tail to be holding that nose up in the section, you know. So the deeper you are in the pockets, the more pressure you can put on the nose. You'll be surprised. You could hang 10 on an 8-foot board through a radical section. So yeah, stay high and tight.
High and tight. All right, back to music. Nick Christie says, when can we expect a video collab with some Francis rapper Jimmy Bones.
Jimmy Bones. Bro. Jimmy and I have tried to put a little thing together for a while, but I either keep forgetting when I go to St. Francis to bring my guitar or something happens, but it's definitely a note to be put in the diary.
All right.
Hopefully this 2020.
Yeah, well, there we go. Maybe we can do an online collab. I know he's got his little
Hey, that's
studio.
definitely not impossible.
All right, back to shortboarding. Kyle Myers, he says top tips for riding backhand barrels at super tubes.
Hey, high and tight, baby.
I'm natural, so that one doesn't affect me.
Yeah, well, for backhand actually at supers, yeah, definitely obviously stay high and tight because it's quite an almond-y shaped barrel. But I find that if you see that you're coming out the barrel, like if you're coming towards the lip, and don't face the board straight, like in the line that you're kind of cruising in, rather face it towards the beach because you can always come out that little doggy door. Supers, the lip doesn't break too hard on you. So most of the time, even if you're a little too deep or if it's going to pinch on you or if you kind of feel the barrel's wobbling a little bit, just aim to the beach and just carry on going. You'll squeeze out.
All right, that's some good advice. Steve Tennyson, the tuner from Belito, when the wall gets really steep at supers, and he's a goofy footer too, that's why these questions are coming through. What are your tips for getting in there for the hook? It can be difficult on the backhand.
I like to try wash a bit of speed off on the bottom turn, either extend my bottom turn or come further out towards the beach a little bit before I clock it up. To hit the lip going full speed at supers down the line is really hard to manage with the power and the speed that you get because you got gravity and all that speed and momentum, So I like to just kind of fade it a little bit towards the pocket or out towards the beach just to slow down some, wash some speed off and then try to clap it as hard as you can. All that power off the back foot. That's what Michael Ginsberg always used to tell me. Power off the back foot, Stevie.
All right, back to a good question. Miles Gillum, what's it like having one of the best longboard shapers as a dad, and how much time are you spending in the bay with him?
Oh yeah, geez, it's been amazing being in the bay since I've known what surfing is. I really started getting a grip on actually the ideas that come with board building and crafts and all that stuff. Probably when I was 16, I really started getting into it. And obviously been working with my dad R&D on my board since I was 10 years old. And he would shape a board just to go off the bottom of the top or to gain speed or to practice my lip line floaters or practice barrel riding or, so he would make specific boards for my steps of surfing along the way. So that was great. And yeah, now I know what I'm riding, and now I kind of have some ideas of what I would like to get and what feelings I'd like to get out of a board. And so yeah, the shaping is endless. No one really has the right and wrong answers for anything. So what goes for you might not go for me, and vice versa. So yeah, always learning. It's great.
All right, Will Smiley, this is a very interesting one. How many decibels does your loudest shout measure? And one wonders if it's because you shouted at him in the lineup at Supers.
Probably 8+.
All right, Leslie Zoneke, another one on the shaping subject. What do you think about the future of local shapers shaping small numbers? And are you thinking of becoming a full-time shaper yourself one day?
Yeah, what was that first part of the question again?
It says, what do you think about the future of local shapers, especially those shapers shaping small numbers locally?
Okay. Yeah, I think, well, I don't know. I have some ideas in it, but I don't have the answers. I think like handcrafted boards start to finish will never die. That's always like a something it's the purest form of riding a board. You can't remake that board exactly from start to finish because everything will you'll get a different piece of wood for the stringer. You know, there'll be different density foam most likely. It's almost impossible. But with the machine, obviously you can mimic boards. I don't know. I think there's going to be a high demand for local small time shapers, big time shapers, whatever you want to call them. Just kind of the arts and craft of it won't die, you know. So that's the kind of route I would like to take. That's the route I'm trying to take at the moment. I haven't fiddled with machine shapes. It's just I'm not so good with computers, and neither is my dad. I kind of just inherited that from him. And yeah, I it's definitely in the pipeline. I don't think I'm going to do one thing for the rest of my life. I've got a few options, and I like to just keep juggling with them all. So for sure, I'm going to be shaping for a long time.
All right. Scotty Turnbull, the Australian, I'll leave it there because he commentates with
Nice.
Belito. But he says,
yes, Scotty, what's he got?
Ask him if his game face when he is competing is any different than the chilled on land demeanor he portrays.
Well, Scotty would know. He's seen me out in the lineup in a heat. I don't know. Just depends where I'm at in the heat. If I'm in the top 50% or the bottom 50%, my smile might be wide or my smile might be very low. You never know. But yeah, try keep it. I try to keep a consistency within contests and competing and stuff. You know, no, don't try to spike too high or drop too low with emotions and that. You know, just try to keep everything plateaued.
Now, Liam Bolgen, he writes in, how deep is the spoon on your nose rider?
Geez, probably like 3/16 deep. Yeah, it's on my proper nose rider, not that deep, eh? Just because of the spoon, if you put a super deep concave in the nose and it hits a chop, it can react quite a lot and buck you off. Definitely nice to play with deeper concaves just to see the reaction you get out of them, you know. But hey, shush. But yeah, on my legit nose rider, I haven't put it too deep, just because I don't want any sudden response. You know, I like to keep it a bit neutral.
All right. Johnny Cohen, this is a cool one because, I mean, we were looking at having the Duct Tape Classic in South Africa this year, and obviously that's probably not going to happen now. But Johnny Cohen asks, has your friendship with Joel Tudor played any role in the evolution of yourself as a surfer?
For sure. I wouldn't say our friendship per se, because I've obviously known of Joel for a lot longer than I've known Joel. And when I saw a video of him yonks ago, not too many yonks ago, because obviously I've been surfing single fins more predominantly the last year or 2 years. Definitely had them in my quiver forever, but it's my go-to choice. You know, I've ridden my high performance maybe a handful of times in the last year, and but yeah, definitely just hanging out and chatting with him. He's a very interesting guy. He's awesome. He's super knowledgeable. He's like an encyclopedia himself, and yeah, he's definitely motivated me to think out the box for certain things, you know. So I would say 100%, yeah.
All right. And that answered a couple of other guys' questions. So if I don't get to your question, you know, I've got a lot here, and we have got a time sort of limit on this. Christian Breivik, who I met recently, how did he like surfing Lofoten Islands, and how was he treated by the local girls?
Classic Christian, what a legend. Call him Mr. Frost. He is the life of the party, man. He is so funny. So I've been to Unstad in Lofoten twice, Norway, and first time I was there for a month, second time I was there for 2 months. Saw the Northern Lights, surfed epic waves. There's a right-hander there that's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a Fleur's Bay mixed with Bruce's, sort of but it's pretty much just a running tunnel, like a racetrack. And it's about the length of Point, I would say. And then there's a sick beach break that's kind of reminds me a bit of a mixture of like a Jbay beachy, but way better. It's like actual peaks. And then, so in this bay, there's a right-hander, a beachy, and then this long left-hand point break. And that left-hander I surfed once, quite fast. You need the right swell direction, but epic waves, man. Can't believe how sick that spot is. It's just rich with waves. Obviously, it still needs to be a bit more discovered. And yeah, but I know Shannon Ainsley's working on figuring out what works when. So he's definitely the local to ask what's what that side. And yeah, I definitely can't wait to go back there.
Obviously, the girls did like you a lot as well.
Yeah, the Norwegian chicks, they're beautiful. That's for sure.
All right, Troy Wells, the Trompy. Who coined the Steezy nickname, and is there a story behind it?
It was actually Kane Benowith. I don't remember how it exactly started, but yeah, Kane Benowith started it sometime in Cape Town, I think 2012. And yeah, I don't know how it stuck, but yeah, it was. I don't think it's as sticky as it was back then. I think I've changed my name as many times as I've changed my underwear, but it's it's fun. Eh? It's the name of the game.
All right, then Jean-Paul Dutoy with actually, this is a very important question: Marmite or Bovril?
Hey, Bovril, all the way.
Yes, one for Team Bovril. That's a good one. I'm with you on the Bovril. And then I think we'll finish off with Cara Sawyer, Mommy Sawyer.
Hey, Mama Bear.
3 things he has learned about his family during lockdown.
Jeez. Don't point any fingers. I think we're all in the same boat on things that we like to judge each other on. And we're like, oh, wait, that was actually me that did that too. 3 things, I don't know. That's definitely one main thing. Second thing is get along. And third thing is, I don't know. I'm still busy figuring it out. Yeah. But we're all kind of in this together, and we've got daily chores that we kind of rotate on, so it's good. We've got a good system going.
All right, so there you go. Those are most of the questions. Actually, we got through almost all of them, and some of them kind of covered each other, so I think we're there. So to finish off, Steezy, you've got your guitar with you, and I thought it would be a nice way to end the first show for you just to jam a tune for all the peeps out there in lockdown.
Showsies, yeah, let's do that. Check the set though. Oh, cousin, it's firing. Check out left.
Make me cry. You're going to make me cry, bro. Seriously. Look, I'm going to cry.
Okay. I'm just got to think where I can put this thing. Okay, hold up.
He's making a plan.
I'm making a plan, bro. Okay.
Oh, liking it. Production value on this show is really high tech.
The one time is lab here too.
Oh, nice. It seems like Labradors are the chosen dog of Jbay.
For sure. If you don't have a lab, you're not from Jbay. You don't have your actual Jbay-ness. It just completes the family, you know?
All right, so here you go. On the first ever episode of The Lockdown, it's Steezy Sawyer live.
This is actually a song that I learned on the first day of lockdown. I'm not going to do an original. I'll do a little cover for all you guys out there. Okay, a bit rusty. Let's go again. You got a friend in me. got a friend in me. When the road is rough ahead and you're miles from nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Oh, you got a friend in me. Some of the folks might be smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. Maybe none of them could ever love you the way that I do. It's me and you, girl. Friendship will never die. Friendship will never die. You got problems and I've got them too. Oh, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Awesome, bruh.
But
Well,
Rusty,
Steezy,
but that's
I gotta say, you know, having watched you from like a little wee nipper in Jbay to where you are now, and we are friends, and just to see your growth and how you've come from being this little like frother grom with hair everywhere to a world champion, a musician, a shaper. It's just been a privilege to watch that whole journey, my friend. And thanks for being the first person on the podcast. It's been really rad having you on.
Lucky, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, I dig it. I like talking nonsense and talking realizations and things and this is and that. It's really cool, man. Cheers.
Awesome, Steezy. So Steven Sawyer, the
Yeah.
first guest on the lockdown. One last message for everyone out there in lockdown.
Hey, stay positive. I guess that's the only hope we've got, eh? Definitely going to get out of this. And, bro, that wave is going to feel so good when you get on just that first one. Just that one wave.
Awesome. So there we go. That is the first episode of The Lockdown with Captain Kai with Steven Steezy Sawyer. Stay strong out there. Stay positive. A big thank you to Monster Energy for giving me some budget to do these podcasts. Obviously, all the help appreciated. And a big shout out to Steezy and the Sawyer family.